Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for November 16th to the 22nd of 2025. So our week kicks off on Monday, the 17th, with Sun trining Jupiter and Saturn. All this watery energy, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, all activated deep. This is powerful, and a trine is ease and grace. So we're activating some energy there. This moment holds the blessing of source energy, nurturing and fueling your grandest dreams and visions for this lifetime. Embrace and seize the profound vibes present when these forces unite, urging you to expand your life's journey significantly. Such an activation often signifies blessings resulting from past dedication and commitment. As you've been moving along a certain path, it is as if the road now widens and deepens, offering you a chance to weave substantial parts of your personal story together in a whole new light. This energy becomes a catalyst for learning and exploring anything that aids your progress. If Jupiter brings those improvements, Sun is lighting them up. While some may opt to relax and unwind, and that may be absolutely necessary for them, it truly amplifies its support for those stepping into heightened levels of consciousness. Enthusiastic and optimistic, this energy swings doors wide open, contingent upon your mindset. It grants you the ability to perceive the grand scheme while guiding you toward the necessary steps for your goals and aspirations to manifest. This is expanding the vision for you, the individual, and then Saturn helps us manifest it. The trine to Saturn says this energy gives you the direction and discipline at the same time. Use it consciously to fuel your goals, as you will be blessed by your past efforts. So that's twice now. You are completely supported to structure your life in a whole new way. It is time to take a personal inventory and organize your life, especially your home, office, or immediate environment. Naturally, this kind of shift will also affect those you relate with in those close environments, so be mindful of others who are not necessarily as clear as you may be at this time. A new order is trying to take root, which scares some and excites others. And this activation supports you and your personal definition of stability and good boundaries. You have access to focus and dedication that can set the tone for the next season as you clarify the connection between who you are and what you are truly responsible for at this time. Evaluate your daily routine and see what's working and what's not, and move forward with some new choices. Deep breath. Same day, while we're having this illuminations going on with the sun, Mercury retrograde is connecting with Pluto for the second of 3 times. So this is one of those kind of normal average hits. It hits it first time, which was October 30th. Retrogrades hits it a second time this week, November 17th. The final hit will be December 13th, and then it moves on. So these 3 hits help, let's say, activate or illuminate what is changing in your thinking personally. And give yourself an orb of influence, a couple days before, a couple days after those dates. And a sextile is an opportunity, so we like that. But it's still a process because of the retrograde. This energy prompts a profound exploration into the ideas and information surfacing at this time, whether in personal or professional spheres. It urges you to delve deeper, posing challenging inquiries and seeking insights that possess greater depth than usual. Professionally or publicly, you might excel in meticulous pre-planning and due diligence. On a personal level, you are likely to delve even further into your own mental patterns and personal history, discerning how they may have led to your present circumstances or consciousness. As certain connections are revealed and fresh perspectives are possible, they will solidify, anchoring you more firmly in your own truth. The exhilaration of these aha moments might inspire you to share them with others. However, exercise discernment, as not everyone is necessarily receptive or equipped to process such profound insights. Consider wisely the timing and audience before sharing your awakening and revelations. Deep breath. So this is internal transformation of your own thinking. It's during the retrograde itself, so it's behind the scenes anyway, so we shouldn't be looking to have these conversations. We should just be reorganizing them in our minds so that when things are forward and moving right and you are more clear, you can actually have those conversations. So that was air and fire, Sag to Aquarius, but the very next day, it re-enters Scorpio. So now Mercury will be in Scorpio until December 11th. At this time, Mercury is still retrograde and re-entering Scorpio's deep waters to stir the cauldron of your mind, asking you to face the truth of how you think, communicate, and express your authentic voice. This is not surface level chatter. This is a soul level inquiry. What have you learned about your ability to consciously co-create your world with your ideas, thoughts, and concepts? How do you cultivate value with your creativity? What stories or mental patterns have reached their expiration date and are ready to be composted so that something more vital and life-affirming can take root? This time offers a sacred threshold where conception happens, not of the body, but of a new way of perceiving life, processing information, and expressing yourself. Mercury in Scorpio also invites shadow work, and here the mind becomes your inner detective, often unearthing secrets, fears, taboos, or buried emotions that have been quietly shaping your choices. The key is not judgment, but curiosity. You are simply gathering information about the mental frameworks that you operate within. Once uncovered, what has been hidden can be brought into the light, transmuted, and ultimately liberated, freeing your energy for more creative endeavors. This is a time to reclaim the raw truth of your own mind and reset it to your original blueprint. Remember, language is power, both creative and destructive. So renew the way you speak to yourself and others. In doing so, you may uncover buried treasures within, untapped potential, hidden resources, or wisdom that has been waiting patiently to rise into conscious awareness. Remember, this whole extended stay in Scorpio Sag is facilitating an upgrade to your ideas, thinking, and concepts in those areas of life Scorpio Sag houses. So it seems that if we can recalibrate our ideas and thinking in the Sag department, then the ideas and thinking in the Scorpio department will go that much better. In other words, if you can shift what you believe to be true or possible, then you can conceive new ideas or increase the beauty and value of the ideas you're working on going forward. Either way, it is a reconnection with your soul and spirit and the ideas that that part of you wants to pursue come the new year. If you can shift your ideas, thinking, and beliefs to accommodate the emerging power and new consciousness, then it should be a beautiful and productive year. Ashe, let's call it in. So if you need to reflect on these things and know these dates and the process we've been in since October, October 6th, Mercury entered Scorpio. October 29th, it entered Sag. November 9th, it retrograded at 6 Sag. November 18th, right now, retrograde, re-entering Scorpio. Then it's going to go direct at 20 Scorpio on November 29th, re-enter Sag on December 11th, and once and for all, enter Capricorn January 1st. So we are in this process for the rest of the year. Now, Wednesday the 19th, Mercury retrograde will oppose Uranus for the second of 3 times. First hit was October 29th. Second hit is this week on the 19th. Final hit will be December 10th. This energy tends to make your mind work in overdrive. Okay, this is Mercury to Uranus. This is a big deal. Not that you think too much, but rather that you may tend to think, speak, and process information faster than usual. However, when you are moving that fast, sometimes you can overlook something vital. The negative expression of this energy tends to make you feel scattered and disorganized. But the positive side of it is making those brilliant connections that are normally just out of reach. Your perception and intuition are picking up so much in such a short period of time that you will want to review the details later to ensure that you didn't overlook something crucial to your development. You may be impatient with same old routine, but check in with your body to make sure that it is not just your monkey mind playing tricks on you. It is a good time to breathe and be flexible, because if you are impatient with this energy, you are more likely to make mistakes. Anytime Uranus is involved, radical shifts and aha moments are totally possible on an internal level. However, on an external level, you may tend to blurt things out without proper forethought. Be sure to engage your heart in some kind of filter, especially when communicating with others this week. Deep breath. So again, Mercury retrograde is for communicating within, not necessarily communicating with others, which is why sometimes that can go sideways. The same day, it's going to trine Neptune, oppose Uranus and trine Neptune in the same day. That's powerful. This is also the second of 3 hits. First one was October 29th, so they shared that same day then too. And a day apart, December 11th will be the final hit. Mercury to Neptune energy ignites your creative fire, faith, and revelations, okay? Again, we're doing this review. It's deep. You may notice yourself drifting aimlessly without conscious direction, yet this fusion offers a unique opportunity to tap into alternate realms for intelligence, vision, inspiration, and insight. Embrace this period as a chance to freely explore ideas and information, allowing them to flow unrestricted, leading you to unforeseen possibilities. Rather than engaging in pragmatic analysis, it is a time to delve into the infinite potential of now and then delve deeper into your own consciousness. You might experience heightened sensitivity, becoming receptive to information or awareness that is not usually this easily accessible. It is essential to maintain strong, healthy boundaries while opening up to this mystical vibe. If you find yourself amidst others, strive to preserve the magical and creative ambiance that best complements this energy's essence. Deep breath. So with Neptune, we want to stay in those alternate realms to get this information and explore and review and go deeper. And then depending on which time zone you're in, the new moon could fall on the 19th or 20th. For the East Coast, it's the 20th. Scorpio new moon. This Scorpio new moon is really powerful for seeding your deepest soul level desires. This is an annual opportunity to return to the infinite void, conception point, and set some completely new intentions. There is also additional energy available at this time from your invisible team of support. That is, your own angels, ancestors, orishas, and animal spirit guides who walk with you now and always. This new moon opens a portal of sorts, one that allows us to align with the ultimate power of transformation, transcending the current form on many levels. And because the form is being conceived at this time, you may not know what the exact logistics are, but you can connect with the essence of what you want to create, the essence of what you want to feel, the essence of what you want your earthly experience to be. Connect to that essence and connect to a new level of authentic power that is in sync with your individual system. Connect to that which you want to bring to life, that which you want to bring from invisible form of Scorpio into the visible form of Taurus next spring, in a way that serves you and benefits others while harming none. Then do your power wishes or Scorpio intentions around initiating an annual cycle of transformation and manifestation. We are expanding the possibilities as we speak that enable us to combine our deepest core values with our most expanded vision for humanity, one soul at a time. This new moon asks us to get congruent with our inner and outer selves and renew our commitment to positive change. All of this speaks to the new realms emerging in place of all that has crumbled in recent years. Many sprouts of your hard work are breaking ground, and if not, I suspect that a clearing is in the works, so it won't be long. Hang in there. As you're setting your new moon intentions, consider how you feel about Pluto issues: death, power, sex, money, and resources, among other things. Renew your dedication to holding your own structure, owning your inner authority, and directing your personal power in new and better ways. I would add here that it is also the time of year when we do the most readings, divinations, and consulting with the ancestors, because it is the time of year that we ask for clarity on all that has gone before, so that we can make the best decisions about how to go forward with their blessing. There is an underworld journey of sorts that is available and customized for each of us. Deep breath. So that day of the November 20th, we are having our monthly Power Circle community event, and we're going to discuss the upcoming Mercury retrograde through all water signs that is happening for 2026. I always do these at the end of the year so that we can prepare for the upcoming year and then circle back and review it 3 or 4 times a year, however many times it happens. But this is going to be deep. It's going to retrograde in Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio in the new year. So we're definitely thinking with our feelings in 2026. But that's going to be necessary because of the new territory. We don't want to take things for granted or assume things are the same as they used to be, because they're not. And we want to be present in our bodies to sense what is good, bad, right, or wrong for you, the individual, in that moment and in that circumstance. So that's going to be a good call, November 20th. Big day energetically, though. It continues, because this is the day Mercury retrograde conjuncts the sun, and this technically kicks off the new Mercury cycle. This compelling energy urges you to express yourself across multiple layers of existence. Communication stands at the forefront, yet it is crucial that it flows both ways. in a genuine exchange of ideas. As you step into this fresh cycle of self-expression, you will be able to harness potent energy that is likely to leave a lasting impact or create a meaningful difference in the lives of others should the need arise. It is an opportune moment for travel, whether physical or within the realms of your mind, through visualization or even exploring new facets of your immediate surroundings. Exploring uncharted paths can reveal unforeseen discoveries. This energetic influx brings forth a torrent of information. Staying alert is paramount. For those grounded and organized, this phase may yield well-deserved recognition from others, a testament to the individual efforts that you have poured into your endeavors. Embrace this influx of energy, allow it to guide you toward new experiences and insights, while remaining open to the flow of communication and exchange that aligns with your authentic self-expression, okay? So as it's backwards, we're chipping away at things that are no longer authentic. And anytime it links up with the sun, we kick off a new cycle of self-expression. These are the big boys. Uranus sextile Neptune's going to happen 5 times over between now and 2027, so over the next 2 years. We had our first hit August 28th of this year. Now the second hit is this month, November 20th. There'll be 1 hit in 2026, July 15th, and 2 hits in 2027, January 15th and June 6th. Now, this is a big deal because they don't often do this. And when they do, it's powerful. And then, as you probably already picked up on, when the personal planets roll through, they're hitting them all at the same time because they're all engaged as well. This is what I call personal, social, and collective activations because it's moving it all around. So deep breath. Uranus sextile Neptune. Uranus and Neptune are initiating a sacred dance of freedom and faith over this rare and potent 3-year window. It is an activation that only comes around once in a great while, and it carries the seeds of our individual and collective evolution. Uranus, the great awakener and liberator, is now forming a harmonious sextile with Neptune, the mystical dream weaver. When these 2 outer planets unite in this way, the door swings open between the realms of higher consciousness and spiritual imagination, allowing us to receive radical insights that feed a whole new way of dreaming our world into being. This is not a quick burst of inspiration. It is a gradual unfolding, a holy dialogue between the mind and the spirit, between innovation and vision. Uranus and Gemini, traveling through the sign of mental perception and duality over the next 7+ years, will continue to crack open old patterns of thought, communication, and connection. It will electrify our nervous systems with downloads of clarity and disruption alike. But here's the beauty. Neptune in Aries, retrograding into Pisces before turning direct again, is activating our inner mystic, the courageous seeker who knows that intuition is not optional but essential. Together they are preparing us for a profound turning point, an evolutionary threshold that will become even more powerful when Uranus moves into Cancer and squares Neptune in Aries a few years down the line. So that's the other reason we need to take advantage of these opportunities to change our visions in some kind of way, because there will be a challenge to it coming up. Think of this as a sacred prelude, a spiritual quickening. Uranus is urging us to awaken to a new level of consciousness, while Neptune invites us to align with a new spiritual truth. This isn't about returning to old religions or dogmas. It's about reclaiming our spiritual authority from within. You may feel called to explore esoteric practices, energy healing, mysticism, astrology, or ancestral wisdom in a more direct and embodied way. What matters now is your own felt sense of connection to the divine, not someone else's interpretation of it. As always, when Uranus is involved, our systems can feel overloaded or overstimulated. This is why grounding practices, daily movement, breathwork, being in nature, journaling, and silence are all so important. Your nervous system is your bridge to the higher mind. It must be fortified, not fried. And when Neptune enters the picture, spiritual boundaries become just as vital. Without them, we absorb other people's energies, collective fears, and false ideals like a sponge. Use this time to strengthen your discernment, not to close yourself off, but to remain clear, strong, and centered in your own light. Ashe. This transit will perfect 5 times between now and 2027, giving us multiple opportunities to refine our vision and align it with our own personal liberation. What dream wants to be reborn through you? What beliefs no longer fit your expanded sense of self? This cycle is here to help you dissolve illusions, release false identities, and embody a new level of sovereignty in both your thinking as well as on your spiritual path. We are standing on the edge of an era that will eventually shape the next 165 years. Let that sink in. The choices we make now, how we express our unique voice, how we relate to truth, how we walk our talk, will ripple out for generations to come. But we are not being asked to have it all figured out right now. We are being asked to listen to the signs, the synchronicities, the dreams, the quiet nudges of the soul, and then respond with humility, courage, and creativity. This is a sacred window for deep inner alchemy, where your radical ideas and spiritual insights can fuse into something uniquely powerful. It is time to rewrite the story, not from the top down, but from the inside out. Practice seeing change as a sacred invitation rather than a threat. Lean into your spiritual practices like a lifeline. Trust and validate your own inner knowing. Allow the great mystery to co-create with you a new dream, one that is rooted in freedom, truth, and sacred belonging. Ashe, deep breath. So those two getting together is a big deal, and it is going to move the social collective along, but it also gives us a little opportunity for them to do the heavy lifting and for you to integrate those changes with a little more ease and grace than usual. Then Friday the 21st, Sun is going to oppose Uranus and trine Neptune. So see what I mean? It's always going to be a tag team because they're already interacting. So Sun oppose Uranus, be ready for surprises with this energy. Your routine may be disrupted by you and or others. Now is not the time to be practical, nor is it the time to make huge decisions. What it is best for is experimenting with alternative modes of expression. A part of you undergoes a mini transformation under this energy's influence because it wakes up a part of you that is requiring expression now. You may not realize it right away, but you have changed. You are a new you, and it's time to acknowledge that fact so everyone else can too. Deep breath. Same day, trining Neptune, this energy triggers your idealistic, altruistic inclinations, but remember that help has to be invited. But if you have the energy to share and to spare, then dedicate yourself to something greater than you. Choose a cause to support or help those less fortunate for the sheer pleasure of giving. If your energy is low at this time, it is better directed inward. If you can, take some extra time in intentional solitude, praying, meditating, and connecting to spirit this week. You will be rewarded with deep revelations and mystical discoveries within you. It's a great time to do divinations, ritual, or ceremony if you're into that. Your intuition is heightened also, so pay attention to any messages that come through or to you. Try to use this energy to reflect on where you are and dream a little about where you want to be, mentally, spiritually, and physically, 6 months from now. Or 6 months to a year from now. Deep breath. Also on Friday the 21st, Sirius goes direct in Aries until March 15th of the new year when it will once and for all enter Taurus after spending 10 months here. Sirius represents how we nurture and like to be nurtured as human beings. In your chart, it indicates how you do that and what your preferences are, and often it points to how your relationship may unfold with your own mother or maternal line. On one hand, we can look at this as a major reboot for the next 4 to 5 years as Sirius renews her journey through the signs. On the other hand, she is also extending her stay in Aries from the usual 2 months to 10 months. So it is an upgrade on personal, social, and collective levels to how we nurture life, vitality, and new beginnings. This retrograde has helped to reacquaint you with your own individual needs and ways of ensuring self-preservation. After the last 1 to 5 years that we've all lived through, we have new priorities and a new wisdom about what truly nourishes and nurtures, or how we get our personal needs met. It's perfectly in keeping with this energetic dynamic to focus on self-care, self-healing, and learning or remembering that you even have needs and what they might be here and now today. Think 1 to 5 years ago to 1 to 5 years ahead. Even if you just give it a nod by being aware that your needs matter and should be considered along the way is good. It's also a good energy for nurturing your passion or purpose. Again, it's basically all about you. And now that it's going direct, you will be able to implement the new ideas around how you feed, nourish, and protect yourself. Deep breath. So it entered Aries May 16th, retrograded at 16 Aries August 11th, going direct this week, November 21st, and hits Taurus March 15th, 2026. So now we got more Mercury action. Saturday the 22nd, Mercury retrograde, trine Saturn and Jupiter. And so here we are again. Mercury's back to Scorpio, so all that water energy is kicking. Trining Jupiter for the second of 3 times. First hit was October 24th. Second hit this week on the 22nd, and the final hit will be December 6th. This energetic phase offers a splendid opportunity to broaden your horizons, delve into new learning endeavors, or enroll in a class or workshop. It is a moment to lay the groundwork for future plans and begin organizing your aspirations. However, you might find yourself feeling less tethered to discipline and more drawn to creative impulses. While this creative surge at the outset is beneficial, eventually focus and discipline becomes essential to anchor your blossoming ideas, thoughts, or concepts into your reality. If you remain self-aware, awake, and attentive, then you will be able to naturally discern, see, and seize the opportunities as they present themselves. What might seem like luck is truly a reflection of your inner alignment with the universal forces, your presence within your own body, a positive mindset, and ultimately, trust in your own instincts. Remember, it's about practice. Perfection is not the goal. Cultivating optimism and perceiving opportunities in every experience act as magnets for positivity while naturally repelling negativity, steering you toward your desired destination. Seize this auspicious energy to forge connections that align with your current aspirations and intentions in life. Deep breath. Same day, second of 3 hits, Mercury retrograde is going to trine Saturn. First hit was October 25th. Second hit is this week on the 22nd. Final hit will be December 7th. This energy is good for deep thinking. You are sharp and your standards are high because you are in strategy mode. This is a more solitary energy though, so communications with others may be hampered a bit because it's actually time for you to hold your own at some new level. It's time to focus on the details that hold the big dream together, all the little things that make the grand vision work. Some respect that attention to detail, while others may consider it nitpicky. But it is what the energy supports at this time, so don't worry if others don't understand what you're going through. By the same token, you may also feel a little overwhelmed by the many little things that cannot be denied or delayed, and thus a sense of urgency to get it all done. Beware of a tendency toward pessimism, depression, or overwhelm. Try to stay focused on all the blessings that you do have and all that you have accomplished instead of what's still on the list of things to do in life. This energy is not intended to make you feel bad about all the things left yet to do, but encourage you to begin the necessary steps for manifesting your dreams. This energy just makes you focus on the practical side of manifesting. Clear the debris and begin to lay a new, clean, solid foundation beneath your goals. Saturn gets you present to the necessary steps, and Mercury helps you think clearly. In this case, Mercury helps you review things so that you can make good choices going forward. So remember, it's still deep review, deeply personal. It's not about other people. It's about you and your mindset and your beliefs and your thinking. And that's what's getting the upgrade with this year's retrograde. So thank you all for being part of the community, and thank you for listening. I hope you will join us when and where you can and reach out directly when you need to. Remember, the monthly missive holds a lot of links and pertinent links and relevant reflections if you need to circle back to that. Otherwise, reach out directly, and I will talk to you soon. This is Kelly of Karmic Tools signing off.